Hi everyone, welcome to Values. Today we're looking at Virgin Galactic. The stock has got a rocket under it. You look at the after hours, it's up almost 20% on the recent announcement that they are on track to fly in Q2, which could be a matter of months that they could be in actual commercial business, which is a very important part. They can fly and test as much as they like, but until they get into that commercial phase, they're not actually a business and they have not fully proven themselves to be capable of running a sustainable business, which is a really important part in terms of its valuation. Because if you remember my last video, how the market just basically values this business at zero, and the value of this company is mainly dominated by its cash value. Well, now it could actually change. The market basically could start giving this company back its value, and if it does, this stock could well go up several multiples, because at $1 billion for a space company, that's really cheap. For one, they're definitely worth probably at least $5 to $10 billion. Of course, the valuations from last year are completely different. We're in a new environment where the valuations are no longer as high, but still, if you're a space company, you're doing something incredibly difficult. So no matter what, your time, your capital that's spent, it's going to be valued, and it's going to be valued in a good amount, because everyone appreciates what they've done, how long it's taken to come at this, to basically get to this stage, and at the current $1.26 billion, it's pretty cheap for a business that could potentially be in business very soon. Of course, if there's another delay, that's a risk. The stock will just drop back down. So anyone that managed to get in at that $3-4 zone, those are really good areas to get in. But of course, if you're buying in the after hours where the pricing is about $5.50, that's still alright. You're still, if basically if they can succeed, everything's cheap right now. If they can succeed, everything's cheap. Of course, if they fail, then everything's expensive, but they don't fully fail. This is a company that if something goes wrong, they just fix it and then they just come back, because they've actually done a lot of test flights and they know they can fly. So it's a matter of what do they have to adjust and how much time do they actually need before they're actually back in commercial service. So this isn't like a biotech company that if it doesn't work, everything gets packed up and they're gone. No, it's very, very different. This is a company that if things go wrong, they just go back to the woodwork and fix it, come back again. And that's a really reassuring thing about this company. It's got $1 billion to kind of fund itself, so that's always reassuring as well. And in that meantime, they can just keep building at it, and also you're basically buying just at cash value, so your risk is very low in that comparison, right? So let's jump into an announcement that they made. I'm not a big fan of the text, how it's just tiny. Like, who makes these announcements and decides, let's put the tiniest text on this screen so that no one can read it? And they just read the title, basically. So basically, Virgin Galactic evolves aerospace leadership structure in preparation for commercial spaceline operations. And basically, commercial being the key. The minute this company gets into commercial, business, they actually are a business, then the market goes crazy for this. But until that happens, this stock could just be very volatile, could go all over the place. So in terms of what they said in the announcement, I love this sentence here. Commercial service remains on track to launch in Q2 2023. So there is possible situations where they can actually be delayed because they actually haven't fully fixed everything entirely yet, but they are close. So first part is basically them that just announcing that they've done a restructure of the company so that they're building for the future. So here's the part that probably matters most, I guess. With the completion of the enhancement program for our mothership at hand. So it's not actually completed yet. So anything could come in between that and delay things, but it doesn't sound like it would. But that's one thing you always have to be wary of, particularly in this situation where this company has actually made many delays in the past. But again, if you have the time to wait, then it's not a problem. So they've also streamlined their leadership structure to propel the business forward for commercial spaceline operation. And that's basically the main point about this announcement, that these guys are actually on track. This part as well, planned upgrades to the mothership are complete. And then they're basically expected to enter ground test next week before commencing flight tests to verify the enhancements to this ship commercial service. To the ship, and commercial service remains on track. So basically, these will be the next milestones when a mothership enters ground tests next week, which is also very near term. Like next week, they do the tests, and if things will go well, that's another milestone that could have the stock going up a bit as well. So every little bit kind of counts now, and everything looks on track to do really well if this company can get there. I originally expected an announcement like this in the earnings date, which was at the end of February. So to see it right now, it kind of caught me a bit out of surprise a bit. But of course, it's always nice when companies come up with good and positive announcements. And I think this is as positive as they can get it. That they've reassured the market to an extent, because the market's still wary that these guys could still delay things. But at the same time, you have a lot of people buying that will get really excited about what this company's doing, because potentially, if all the tests goes well, they could literally be in commercial operation in 3-4 months. And yeah, things will look very, very bright from there. Of course, that's still the start of the business, of course. But in terms of valuations, you won't see this pricing if they go commercial. This is as cheap as it probably gets. So I think that's all I need to say around that. So anyone that got in is, fantastic. Anyone that's thinking about getting in, it's still good pricing. Assuming you've got the time to wait as well. In the course that they do delay and the pricing does take a hit, you can hold, as long as you can hold to the commercial launch. I can't see you not making money, right? Until then, I'll see what comes up in between, or if the share price does really well and there's something interesting to announce, then I'll do another video. Until then, good luck investing, everyone.